Hi there, I'm back. Welcome to the channel. Because of the long ramble I went into on shellac, I decided to just make a separate video where I quickly show you how to buff out with polishing compound, or with car wax in my case, a shellac finish. So, remember our steps. Sanded to 220, cleaned it off with steel wool, got everything nice and smooth, raised the grain with denatured alcohol, knocked it down, which was hardly anything. Wood was so beautiful and perfect. Got the wood ready, for finish. Went on with the shellac. I used thin coats for a couple of days. I had a few dry spots at repair that I had messed up a little spot. So there's another day or two delays trying to build it back up again. But my basic goal was thin coats, then thicker coats, then kind of thin coats on top of that. And then I would sand in between with the quadruple 0 steel wool, the 4-0 steel wool. And then after that, I started moving to just using, as the coats got, more and more coats were applied, and I was moving away from having to just build up the finish. I went with the 1000 sanding block, then I would do a coat, and then after that I got to where I would just touch it with the 1000 in case there was a little funny spot or a run. Lots of runs along here that had to be repaired. That's the biggest screw up area, is this, like right in here. Lots of runs. So those have to be repaired. But anyway, this worked great. The 3000, you can shape it to the guitar and you go over. And if you have a run, you can start with the 1000 and work it down. Then come along with olive oil in this, and get it worked down. And then come across it. And then, once the finish is where you want it to be, and remember, you only needed to let it dry for about 48 hours. So you can begin working on it, because it doesn't really cure. The alcohol just evaporates. So now, this is what I've been doing for the past day. Ever since I finished the finish yesterday, I started working on this buffing. So I did go around it to get it really even. So you'll kind of look around the guitar and you'll start seeing uneven spots. And you'll get in certain, and it's good to go sit in different spots of the house or your room or wherever you are, or whatever your workspace. Just move around, hold the guitar at different light, having different reflection points and whatnot, and then look for dead spots, flat spots, swirls, anything that doesn't look like glass. Because that's what I'm looking for. I've got a reflection in this. I can see everything in this finish now. And it looks fantastic, and you wouldn't think it with a natural finish, but it really is like a mirror. And in order to achieve that, you got to get all that little scuffy stuff out. So as you're looking at it, you're just going along with the olive oil. I would just pour a little olive oil here. It would soak in real nice. You could feel it in your hand, and you just kind of groove along and get rid of all that funny stuff, right? Now, you come along with your rag, get it good and clean, and now, I went to the hardware store. I was reading about polishing compound. And I found this stuff here. I basically bought it. It was pretty cheap. I think maybe $5-6, something like that. I don't remember. It wasn't very expensive. And then I liked it because it had this red car and this yellow can. I just thought it looked like an old school kind of like metal, turtle wax can. So anyway, I bought it. Didn't know anything about it. Just figured I would give it a try. So, and I didn't pick it out for any reason, but as it turns out, it's kind of this like really soft whip stuff, and I really like it. It makes a great polish, a great polishing compound. So anyway, you have this little yellow sponge here, and I just got this down the street at the auto parts store. It's like literally like a mile down the road, not even a mile. So anyway, I take a little bit of this here, like get the pad, kind of, not too much. And then I'm just going to put it on the front, and I've done this a lot the past few days. So it really doesn't need any more. Although I did repair a little spot back here. I found a run, and I had to keep sanding to get rid of it, and it dulled it out. And so when that happens, you just go back to the shellac. I wiped it once, let it set for about 15 minutes, wiped it again, let that set for about 2 hours, went back and hit it with 1000, 3000, and this, and it was back to glass again. It was that easy. So that's the thing about shellac, is it's hard to get great at it and get like a perfect finish, but it's not hard to get going. So then I've wiped it on. I would probably let it dry for at least a few minutes so that you get like that hazy and it's already happening. This stuff is probably like formulated to dry really fast, and maybe that's why it's kind of whipped like that. It's like really soft as opposed to being like a thicker, like more dense wax. Okay, so then just for giggles, I'll show you what I did. I had my car buffer thing here, which is a piece of junk, but I had my car buffer here. And then I just put my polishing, I got at the car place, and that's where I got all this cool sanding stuff, that 3000 thing, and the 1000 sponge was at the auto parts store. And then I got one of these polishing rags, you know, for a car. And then you put it like this on here, and then I'm just gonna, you know, do my thing. Just kind of polish along. And this is fun. This is like the fun part of all this, after all the hassle, you know. And I'm just going to kind of not sand, but buff along the guitar. And I really think this helps. Apparently, from what I've been able to read, this is where the real magic occurs. I mean, obviously you got to be really good at putting the shellac on, but the real kind of final finish magic is in the buffing. And it's not about applying pressure, just like on the car. It works better if you like do like an M. It's so big and the guitar's so small, I don't really do M's. But it's like, you know, when you're doing a car and you write an M and then you fill it in, it just makes it where there's no buff marks. And that's the idea here too, is just to keep going. Oh wow, just that little treatment really glassed it up. It looks incredible. It's really an impressive finish. So it's kind of fun. I'm at the fun spot now where I'm just sitting around admiring the finish, getting more and more excited about woodwork, you know, getting excited about the idea of getting some kind of router, making bodies myself like what Toby does. Obviously they won't be as good as Toby's because I'll have to work my way up. But there's no way to learn how to do it unless you start learning how to do it and doing it, right? You know, how else are you going to do it? So anyway, I think this is fun, and it's a great way to really get the finish like to that next level, that next professional level. So as you can see, I've got the wax on here. It's kind of waxy looking. I don't know if you can see that, how well this is picking up. But on this side, I've already done some buffing, so see how that's all like glassy? Wow, look at that. Fantastic. Okay, now, got it here. I'll put my little pen, and I'm sure somebody out there is going to know a better way to do this. I'm probably doing this like the stupidest way possible. But here we go. The thing I'll say about the car buffing method, like the other thing I like to do is just sit around with it as you're ending your evening, maybe watching something on YouTube and just chilling out on the bed. I've just been holding it and, you know, wiping it down. But there's something about that buffing that really does do something, as it just starts to really shine once you buff it. I don't know if the light's going to catch this or not. There it is. So now you can see the mirror-like qualities. There's that globe just shining away. Look at that. That is really cool. Here it is in the front, if I can catch it for the camera. There it is. Anyway, this thing's beautiful. And that's the buffing process with the shellac. So as you can see, this is just fun. And it feels like jelly beans. You know, it's slick like a jelly bean, but it feels good. Don't quite know how to describe it, but I think it's going to make a great finish for this guitar. Thank you. So, thanks again for watching. This is what I'm doing now. I'm going to make a video where I show some pickguard choices for Strat aesthetics. So like, I know what I'm going to do with this one, And I think we know what we're going to do with this one as well, because we have a pickguard and everything. Kevin has bought one. But I also want to show some other combinations, because I found a really cool thing that gives this guitar like a whole different aesthetic that I really like. And we'll get into that in the next video. Also, I'm about to start recording again, and so I'm going to get back into making some Zoom videos. So the people out there who have been watching those Zoom videos and commenting, which I really appreciate, those have been the most viewed and commented on videos I've made. I'm going to start recording again. I want to finish my record. I've got 5 songs that I'm happy with. I need 5 more. I always think of records like in the old school way of being 10 songs, you know. 5 songs per side, unless you have a really long one and it may be like 9 songs, or a bunch of short ones that could be 11 or 12. I digress. But the point is I'm going to get back into recording, start working on that record, try to finish it up so I can have it maybe done before the year's over, and have my second full-length record that's under the Dynamite Death Chair moniker. So anyway, thanks again for watching. Black Limba Guitar by Toby Russell. It's in the final buffing stages, and when I assemble the guitar, I obviously will have to do it in front of the camera, so I'll do it on YouTube, and you'll be able to see what it ends up looking like and the completed project. I think it's going to be terrific. So anyway, thanks for watching.